What's up, people? Jamie Kennedy here. Hate to break it to you. Solo episode. World is on fire. We're making really good momentum now. We're trying to get dialed in here. Great episode last week with Raven. I love her so much. Like, we just bond. We just connect. So let's subscribe, turn your notifications on. If you want to see more good episodes, help me. So, world's crazy. I'm going to start reacting to stuff right now. Here we go.
I'm gonna be up front with you. If when it comes to a position and I look on the paper and they right there, or she might be right here and he's up there, I'm hiring the woman. And that's just how I operate. And I'm be honest with you, if she's a black woman, you got the job. Girl, you got the job.
That's nice. Wanda Sykes, comedian, very funny. As a comedian, we have to look at things in the world and look at them rationally. That's nice to say at the women's power lunch that you're going to hire a woman, I guess, right? Getting an award. Can we throw out ideology, beliefs, religious identification, gender, ideology? Can we throw it all out? Okay. What's wrong with the best I was thinking about this yesterday. What's wrong with the best person for the job? Can we just go back to that? The best person for the position, okay? If it's right there and it's a black woman and she's like right there with the white guy and you like her more, that's okay. Go for it. Everybody should have a voice. And I agree that if the loudest voices were white for a long time, then yeah, see where there's other talents. There's probably a ton of great Asian, roofers, right? It's not just white guys from the South that are really good at putting roofs on, I don't know, example. But just to fill a quota is ridiculous. It's a simple example. Does the NBA say we need 4 white guys? In fact, that's a whole thing happening with the Lakers right now. There's about to be 4 starting whites, which we haven't had since my era in the 80s, and that was the Celtics. Larry Bird, Danny Ainge, Kevin McHale. Somebody said DJ, which is Dennis Johnson, which he's not white. But there were other guys. The Celtics were a ton of white. Did it matter? No. The Lakers were all black except Kurt Rambis. Did it matter? No. I love the Lakers as much as I despise the Celtics. And I despise the Celtics because they would beat the Sixers all the time. And I love the Lakers because they were Showtime, baby. Oh my God, they're black. I'm white. The Celtics are white. Why am I what? I liked who I liked. I liked the Celtics because they were such a good villain. And I love the Lakers because they were such a hero. Right? But the NBA doesn't go, let me get more guys that are just 5'10" and Lithuanian. No, you if you don't have the talent, you can't do it. So I don't know why that is such a thing. Just like this guy got elected in New York, I haven't commented on it because I don't know enough about it, but basically he wants to do a lot of things. I don't know. I heard he wants to get rid of cops or make that less and free groceries and all this stuff. Here's the bottom line. In his speech, he should have said how he's going to help the city. He's 21 years younger than me, so I can say this. And he's also a rapper, so I can really say this. I'm a Muslim. I'm a man. I'm a Democrat socialist. Why you put all these labels on, bro? Some people say he's acting, and he really does still have his accent. He should just use his accent if he has it. But why do we care about all that other stuff? How about I am going to help fight crime? I'm going to empower the police to do their job correctly. I'm going to help people in Section 8 get off of Section 8 so they can, live more comfortably in life. I am going to help the subway system and maybe keep it cheaper for people. I'm going to talk to the taxi companies and maybe you can buy a monthly pass. That type of stuff. I would like to work with the price of groceries. But to just come out and say, I'm a Muslim, Democrat, no, I'm a man, like, I don't give a shit. And that's the problem. Too many people give a shit about labels. Be loyal to the logic, not the label. Be loyal to the logic, not the label. Take this and repeat it. Loyal to the logic, not the labels. Too many labels, man. Labels are what fuck us up. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, Jamie? Label, dismissive. Oh, you're washed up, Jamie? Label, dismissive. Oh, you're a white cisgender male? Label, dismissive. Well, she's not gonna like you. She's a lesbian. Dismissive. Oh, it's all dismissive. It's all dismissive. Oh, he's a Republican. He won't get it. Dismissive. She's a Democrat. She's a crazy liberal. Dismissive. I use them too, but I'm open to communication. That's the difference. Someone taught me today about what the filibuster means. I guess a filibuster just means you're not talking. A filibuster means we're not even going to talk. That's insanity. Insanity. So as much as I think Wanda is hilarious, and she's hilarious, she's not going to hire a black woman comedian if they're not as funny as a white comic if she needed just humor in a scene. If a white comic happened to be funnier for a particular scene and she's humor first, I think she would just hire the best comic. I don't think she would go to the labels. If not, then I'd be questioning things. But there should be diverse voices and everything. We're too much with labels. It's annoying.
No.
The person that is laughing, you're trash. Disgusting. I don't like to comment on other people's in my world, but I don't know. I'm 55. This woman, Julia Fox, was so good in the movie Uncut Gems. I mean, insane. Amazing. Beautiful. Great in the role. Really, I heard she was married to a firefighter. She's a young mother. And I don't know. I feel like they cloned her or something because she's completely changed. She's allowed to do whatever she wants, but wearing that costume is completely distasteful. It's terrible, especially in the light of Charlie Kirk's murder, and blood and gore. I think that's pushing some type of weird demonic agenda through fashion. I'm dead serious. Let's normalize this ritualistic. One of the worst things that's ever happened to our country. Gives everyone PTSD for generations. And here she is wearing it. And she said she wore it as a show of strength, that she kept going. Yes, she did. Jackie always loved, still to this day. We don't need to be reminded of it. Just put the costume on. You want to make a statement? I don't know why she's so political now. I don't know. When I watched that movie, I thought, oh, she'd like me. We'd get along. I don't think she would like me at all, which is sad because I was a fan of her in that movie. I'm not a fan of her, but I don't understand what happened to the young, vivacious, bubbly actress, young mother, to now this activist who's posting rage bait. What happened? It's disgusting. It's distasteful, especially in the world we're at right now. There's just so much violence and murder and killing. It's disgusting. Why glorify it? I know you're glorifying the strength of Jackie O and the blood is there to make a statement, but it's just, come on. But you do whatever you want. This is
She's dressed as a Native American.
This is a great example of lunacy and hypocrisy.
She's dressed as a Native American.
Are you trans? Is that a costume or is that how you are? Huh?
Do I look trans?
A little bit.
You look trans.
But it's also Halloween. I look trans?
Just mind your own business. I'm not even talking to you. I don't give a fuck what you're talking.
You're offended? You're offended, but you're dressed up like a girl.
I have a beard. Do girls have beards?
Well, when they take hormones and shit, they get them.
I said what I have to say.
Yeah, you said it. Now you can get the fuck out of here.
She can talk for herself too, right?
She clearly doesn't want to because you're fucking disrupting her life. Just fucking walk down the street, bro.
Is this real?
Just fucking walk down the street.
Good, please.
I know that Ghirardelli, it's down in San Diego. It's definitely people were partying in San Diego that night for Halloween. That's hilarious. In San Diego, they will wear that costume, not think twice about it, which they shouldn't. The Indian costume, the American Indian. But a man, either he was dressed as a woman or he was being a woman for Halloween or he's in process of transitioning. What else I have to say? There it is. That's the hilarity of life right there. I don't even think that guy was Indian from America. I think he could have been Indian from India. That's just funny. Nothing else to say. I would say bring back the American Indian headgear and let people wear it as costumes. It's okay. It's a celebration. It's like you're keeping the spirit of their culture alive in the mainstream by people. I'm an Indian. That's okay. They're not rude about it. Was she rude about it? She looked cute. What's the problem? It's funny. And the guy looked good as a girl. Let him be. But he had to press her.
A-list celebrities aren't pulling in audiences anymore. Hi, it's producer Patrick, bringing you the latest in the ever-evolving film and TV industry. Days when a star's name guaranteed box office success appears to be over. This fall, films led by Margot Robbie, Dwayne Johnson, Julia Roberts, and Keanu Reeves all underperformed. Proof that Hollywood's biggest names can't save a flop anymore. All this according to The Guardian. Hollywood used to bank on a celebrity's charisma and name recognition. But in 2025, audiences seem to want more than fame. They want story and engagement. The real draw these days seems to be a battle between franchises and powerful storytelling that can break through the noise. Well-reviewed movies with major actors are still losing money.
Suits is an example of didn't have any names in it. They became names because that show is great and people love it. Suits is so big around the world. When I was in South Africa, people were like, Suits, Suits. I only know this because the guy that's the lead of Suits, Patrick, was on Ghost Whisperer with me a couple times. Great guy. And Suits is a phenomenon.
Because the modern viewer has more options, including streaming, social, and short-form content. And ticket-goers are now asking themselves, why spend $30 on a movie ticket when you can wait just 30 days and watch the same film at home? After COVID, the medium shift wasn't financial, it was a cultural one. We're now entering an era where audiences just don't blindly follow stars anymore. They follow what feels worth their time.
As always, love to hear your thoughts. That's my buddy Patrick. He's so funny. He always puts it out there. As always. Get that engagement, Patrick. This is a great clip, and I'm going to explain what's happening to you right now so you understand. There was only a few stars anyway, okay? There was never a guarantee of stars, but I think there were a time where people went and saw movie stars. You know, we still have a few left. I would like to consider myself a movie star. It might not have the hot vehicle at the moment, but if I have the right marketing, I have a movie that can open. And if it's a good movie and it's a good story. So, you know, you can say, oh, you haven't done certain big movies in a while. Let me explain how this works. I'm going to take myself out of it. There are, like, Brad Pitt became a star and then Brad Pitt became the movie, okay? It's hard to hide Brad Pitt in a movie. It's Brad Pitt is bigger than the movie. But there are a lot of people that get put in big movies that become stars. And there's a difference. There's people that get free rides and there's people that are undeniable. Now, you could argue, there's no argument. Robert Downey Jr. made and owned Iron Man. He was a star before and a superstar after. And you could argue that he made the Marvel Universe because of his charisma. You could argue that. So, there are people that get free rides on big movies, and there's people that make a movie big. But the star system is changing not just because of people are losing interest, which is partial. It's because people have more choices. It's the whole thing. When an album would come out in 2000, one of the last big weekends of all physical sales, the week of 2000, I think it was Britney, Eminem, and Backstreet all had like albums. It was like a record week of like millions of albums sold. Well, people don't know there's a band called the Pixies that also released an album, and there wasn't as many, but their fans were fervorous. And so I call it the Pixie rule. The Pixie just didn't get the press, the play on MTV, the late night media coverage, the TMZ coverage. The Pixies weren't in clubs at, after hours. The Pixies were just being the Pixies. They're still huge, but they didn't get the SKUs literally at a place called Sam Goody for their album. So if 2 million Pixie albums were made available and the mainstream media pushed it, the Pixies may have sold 2 million the first week as well. All these other artists are super talented and they're amazing, and the Pixies are obviously as well. But if you don't get the push and people don't know about you, Britney gets this push, the Pixies get this push. It doesn't mean that people aren't as interested in the Pixies, they don't know about it. And it was a study. You can look at this study about the Pixies, actually. So it's not that people are losing interest. It's just that they're seeing more choices, and that's why people are blowing up off of social media, because it's like people are seeing it and they're deciding what they like. And I think my real take on this is RealShorts. I said it before and I'll say it again. Quibi was what RealShorts wanted to be. They're just a two genius ahead of their curve. RealShorts, let me explain what RealShorts is doing, and I'm going to get involved with this. RealShorts is going to be, right now it's the stepchild of Hollywood, but Hollywood is getting involved. Movies will always be there. They could be less and less. Some are going to hit, some aren't. A great movie like Weapons, an original idea comes out, it's awesome. Franchises, you want to see the next installment, like Scream 7, you're going to want to see that. It's awesome. They're just rebooting The Mummy. That's going to be awesome. But there's a lot of other movies that are not going to get that push. And so RealShorts is a system of how many Angelina Jolies are there? Well, there's one. How many people want to be her? Millions. Okay, how many people can be her? No one. But they can be their own version of what they are. So there's only one Kim Kardashian, but she inspired a bunch of clones that do very well on social media that make millions of dollars. RealShorts will be that. RealShorts is these micro dramas that you get the first 10 for free, and you get 40 in a thing. You start paying for them. You watch them on your phone. You're hooked. Well, stars will come out of that universe. They'll package it later on and take the whole series and make it one movie. If it's good enough, you can release it in movie theaters. So this whole system of I can do it, it's not union. So there's no barrier to entry, so people can just make the shit. And if they have an audience, Hollywood will want to get a piece of it because Hollywood is greedy. So they'll be like, I want to be relevant. And so now these hot thing with a bunch of actors that you never heard of will become stars. Not all of them. There's a lot of bad ones, but there are going to be stars that come out of the system. And the farm system will become a major player. That's my prediction. It's already happening. And so that's one of the reasons why people don't want to be dictated a Julia Roberts movie. We love her. She's a legend forever, Mount Rushmore, but they're like, maybe I don't want to watch that. Maybe I want to watch this heavy girl that does food reviews. You know what I mean? Which is a girl I'm thinking of right now who's really funny. So yeah, there's no barrier to entry. Narcissism and technology is going to disrupt Hollywood big time. But movies will always be there. But I could see one or two companies buying everything. It's just Netflix, Disney, Peacock, and Paramount buys 3 things. Or someone buys Disney too, and it's like 2 players, Amazon, Google. Speaking of social media, this woman is my spirit animal.
Men do not fall in love with your character, your personality at first. They will never. Men's brains are in their cocks. Are you stupid? Yes, you are. You're a dumb shit. And the only way that your man would ever fall in love with your personality first, if he was an ugly piece of shit. Okay, if he's ugly and doesn't have any options, then he'll go for any person. He can, because he doesn't have a choice. It's called nature. Okay. Men's brains are in their penises. Okay. Men do not fall in love. This is the worst eyeliner. I'm going to flip the fuck out. It made me ugly. This is thick. Men will fall in love with your appearance first. They are males. Okay. They're not going to go. Do you think they're going to be attracted to someone ugly and fat? No, they will never be. Okay. They might be because they think you're easy. That's the truth. And they don't want to put a lot of effort because whatever. But I'm talking about generally. Men fall in love with how you look first.
This woman's amazing. I don't know her name. It's just HRH Clips. I see her everywhere. And she started as a really normal, like, measured influencer or whatever, doing reviews. And then, I don't know, something happened. She lost it. And she's hilarious. She's so funny. And she's great. I just was reacting to her because she's so funny. I really should have her on my pod. I'd love it if she freaked out on my pod. We should make this happen. But she's also true. I wasn't even really commenting on that, but it is true. Most of it's true. Men, our visuals are first. But let's not forget this. And some people will go, oh, that's weird. But smells. Men love a woman that smells nice. So a look and a smell. But really, that's the entree into something. It's really about the attitude. If a woman you don't know seems sexy, but she's game and has a good attitude, big plus. Now, there's a difference between you're talking about just a one-nighter or a relationship. Relationship is a whole different thing. But initially, yes, we're visual creatures. Signals are sent. Smell creatures. Smells and signals are sent. Oh. But then if she has a stinky attitude, then that doesn't matter as much. It's like poo-poo attitude of like, it doesn't seem like she has a funness about her. How can I say it? I want to say looseness, but I don't want people to go, oh, loose. No, just like a loose, like doesn't take herself too seriously. And that's the same with dudes. No woman's gonna want a douchebag. You gotta have a high self-awareness. But it doesn't mean people won't hook up and stuff. It just doesn't mean it's gonna last very long. But she's hilarious. I don't even know her name. I just call her HRH. I have no idea what her name is. But I see her all the time in my FYP, and I'm a fan. Because that's how I feel about stuff. I get mad and I freak out. But she looks good doing it. You know what I mean? I have to clean up more to freak out because like people, when I freak out, they're like, oh yeah, homeless. Although the lighting in here looks good. I'll shave my beard off. I'm tightening my skin. All right. Watch.
Here's the way that LA got a bad reputation, I think.
Okay.
There is a small kernel of truth that there are extremely enterprising, career-obsessed, nasty, boring people out here. Mm-hmm. That element does exist. They're all on the West Side. And that element is here, and it's a kernel of truth. But what happens is losers from the rest of the country move out here and project all of their hopes and dreams.
And he doesn't mean that. Oh, he means that. But I'll be more inclusive because I love this take. Because it's right. He says losers, but it's people with loser attitudes that become victims.
With no talent and no work ethic onto the city.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't work out for them because they don't work hard, they're not nice people, and they have no innate talent, they leave here and they go back to wherever they came from and they go, That place is disgusting.
Yeah.
And the reason they feel that way is because it didn't work out for them here. And so they projected their dreams onto this physical site. And then they have this horror story to tell where it's like, yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I'm so hardworking and nice and talented. If that place were any good, I would have won. And it's like, I think there's a funhouse mirror situation going on where it's like the city seems horrible, but in fact, you just weren't meant to be a series regular on a sitcom.
Brilliant clip. That is a brilliant clip. I don't know who these people are. I don't know the pod. I love a take from people that are different than me only because people are so ideologically bullshitted up, but he's just a normal dude. As the best take, and I hope he sees this clip, I've ever seen on LA. First of all, I always say the best people in LA are the locals. Okay? You're a visitor here. Okay? I've lived here since I'm 18 years old, and it's my home. Am I still a visitor? Potentially, but I lived here double the amount of time that I lived in Philly. But Philly is my base, and this is my flourish. And it's the locals in Malibu who really live there for generations are the best people. The locals in Thousand Oaks, the locals in the Nard, Alyssa, she's generations in Ventura County. That's why she's so sweet and beautiful, because she's from the soil of California. Zachary Levi, he's a native of Ventura. Kevin Costner, Ventura. Leo is literally a Hollywood. He is literally born in Hollywood. I mean, it's perfect, right? I believe Tobey Maguire is from Long Beach. So people that are born in the state of California understand all its nooks and crannies. David Arquette, salt of the earth. David is the salt of the earth. Born literally behind Paramount Studios. Like, he lived here for his whole life. Like, people that you like and you enjoy love California because it has the California beautifulness of it. And there's so many videos. I wish I had one where I could show where a girl's like, let me tell you what it's like. LA is a horrible place. And let's put one of these in.
I lived in LA for over a year and it was literally terrible. I've never gone to a place and my soul felt so uneasy the entire time. LA is extremely glorified and I have literally no idea why.
Went to Cipriani last night in Beverly Hills. The vibe was so dead. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my god. I don't know what's up with LA scenery. It's not it.
I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I lasted 9 years in this city. Every time I'm here, I feel like it gets harder and harder for me to be here. It's like the minute I touch down is the minute I want to get the fuck out. I don't know how else to describe it, but soul draining.
It's the best take because I can't say it any better than that. It's not working out for you. If it was, you wouldn't be leaving. It will work out for you if you want to work it. It works if you work it. That's it. Like, there is no goal. The doing is the winning. You know what I'm saying? If you love comedy and you're work at a comedy club and you eventually want to become a comedian, some of our best comedians were door people and service people at clubs for years and worked up to 5, 10. Now they do an hour. But they love the life. So it's the same with acting. I started as a background extra. You know, I just love being on set. I don't like it when people go, "Wait, what are you gonna do this weekend?" When we rap, this is my weekend. Like, being on set is my weekend. Like, I don't want to go home. There's nothing there. It's just like exciting to be on a set and be with people and create something and, you know, flirt and all that shit. It's great. So he just said, I mean, I can't say anything better than that. You weren't meant to be a regular on a sitcom. It's brilliant. So I don't like the LA bashing, and it's not just influencers. I owe you an apology, but a lot of you do give LA a bad name. But it's the people that come and leave. It's the same people that have always come and left, who would never love LA, and they don't love Hollywood, and they don't really they're not doing it for the correct reasons. You're not doing it. You will never do it. You do it because you cannot not do it. That's what I tell people. If you want to do something in the creative space, you won't write the script. The script will make you write it. Okay? You won't write a song. The song, John Lennon couldn't sleep because Imagine was in his head over and over again. He talked about it. He had to get up and write it in the middle of the night. You know? Quentin Tarantino is passionate about movies. He watched them all the time. He was psycho about it because he had to make them. You know what I mean? Your biggest movie stars had to act. They had to. I couldn't hold a regular job. It's weird that I'm successful in this business, but it makes sense because it accepts crazy people. And I would never be able, I'd be homeless if I didn't have this outlet. Do I alienate people? Yeah. Do a lot of people love me? Yeah. And if I was going to be, I wouldn't be any better off in my hometown where I grew up. I would just be broke there. So if I wasn't making it, I'd be broke here. Better be broke by a beach. Perfect take, my man.
The original Scream has a no thanks section in its end credits, and this story is just beautifully petty. Okay, so if you stay through the credits of most movies, it's typical to see a section of special thanks near the end. What's not typical is a no thanks section, but Wes Craven's horror classic Scream went there. The film's credits read, quote, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City School District Governing Board." Why? Well, Santa Rosa High School, located in Northern California, was supposed to be the original filming location for Scream. The school had been used for a number of previous films, including Peggy Sue Got Married and Inventing the Abbotts. The Scream production had set up offices in town. The filmmakers were all...
This is 100% true. Inventing the Abbotts was not used yet. They were using that right before our film started. And I'm explaining the situation.
All ready to go. And according to producer Marianne Madalena's 1997 interview with the LA Times, they created a shooting schedule around the school's wishes and were prepared to pay the school district as much as $50,000 for 10 days on site. But then the school district abruptly backed out of the deal, claiming the production didn't fill out the approval paperwork in time. But apparently it had more to do with word of the horror project spreading throughout town and pissing off the locals. According to the LA Times, about 800 people showed up to complain about the movie shoot at a school board meeting. So the school district then said the shoot would be disruptive of high school finals, which were happening around that time. So Wes Craven offered to reduce their days at the school to just 4 days total, but the school board wasn't having it and eventually cut ties with Scream right before cameras were supposed to roll. The movie ended up shooting at the Sonoma Community Center, a former grade school instead, and some of the film was actually rewritten to accommodate this location change. And the filmmakers were apparently so mad about it that they dissed Santa Rosa in the credits.
That's the beauty of Wes. That is 100% true, is 100% accurate. Everything he said is 100% true. And Wes was not happy. No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa School Board. Now, quote me or don't quote me. This is what I heard. Because when I got up there was a lot of stress because Wes shot the whole Drew stuff. And the dailies were going into the studio. This was told to me as I was eating a cookie. I just checked in. I walk into my room and I ran into the parking lot with Wes. I'll never forget it. And he says, "Hey, how are you?" And he just looked like he took a deep breath. I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "I just had to give the tape to the studio." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "They shot the Drew stuff all week." So Drew had her own movie with Drew and Lee Waddell and all of it, and Roger. Right? Roger's the voice. Lee does the killings. Drew's the victim. And I guess the dailies came in and they didn't know. The studio's like, "What is this? What are we watching?" I have no idea. They couldn't understand what was happening. They couldn't fathom it. So Wes had his editing team, I believe Patrick, put together the quickest tape he could, and they cut together the scene. And they went and said, the studio then screened it. It was like 7 minutes. And they just got a call and he had a deep breath sigh. And he goes, "Because I told me this whole story. I was eating a cookie." And he said they're so excited now. They didn't know what it was until they watched it cut together, which you're a movie studio, you should understand this. And he says, now they said that it's going to be their #1 title that they're going to take to Cannes. So they didn't even know. They went from not even understanding it to not getting it to not wanting it to then running to Cannes with it. Con. And at that time, I believe he had told me, or it happened, I'd heard through it, it was that day or before, that they were having problems with the school location. And so we were shooting the fountain. That was our first scene. We shot the fountain was the first time we were all together. And I liked it because I thought it was a good amount of dialogue, but At least I can be fun and I can remember my lines. I can at least get these lines done for that day. And I didn't act as much as anybody in that scene. I never acted as much before. So it was a lot. And but I think originally we were going to do some school stuff. Maybe not, but I just know, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, that Wes literally told me from his mouth to my ears that and Marianne too, that they didn't think, I believe the term was, the film represented a good, wholesome, they don't want this type of filth filmed at their prestigious school. And they were going to go with a wonderful Ron Howard film called Inventing the Abbotts, starring Billy Crudup and Jennifer Connelly. And Jennifer Connelly has always been Jennifer Connelly, and she's going to be forever in our business. And Billy Crudup is an amazing actor who's done very well. And Ron Howard is a legend beyond. But Wes was really mad that they basically said his was like a little B horror movie, and they had this beautiful Oscar-winning, it's going to be an Oscar-nominated movie and serious period drama, and we were this little slasher flick. And that was the origin story of the disrespect of Scream. That's the beginning. I want everyone to look at this clip. The beginning disrespect origin story. We were always kicked to the side, put behind the 8 ball. When the Mars Attacks came out, we went against it, and they said, well, this is the baby brother B-side of the big A-side movie, which Mars Attacks was an amazing movie, but it was a movie, a big movie with a B movie take, right? It was an A movie made from B movie material. And we thought, in what you consider a B movie genre, horror, I guess, and we were a movie. Bottom line is, we're an A movie. It's just a great movie. Take it out of the horror genre. Take it out of anything. It's just a great movie. We won Best Movie at MTV that year. It was a lot of competition. Why? The people loved it. It's bigger than it's ever been. People come to my channel right now just because something I was in 29 years ago. It feels more relevant than ever. These are things people make and give to me. So what I'm saying is, it's amazing. I'm blessed to be a part of it. And that is 100% true. And that's why, Wes, God bless your soul and rest your soul, my friend. Because that type of pain and pettiness and anger, it's not petty, it's hurt. He was hurt that you didn't take our movie as serious as you took a Ron Howard movie. And Ron Howard proved himself over and over again, but so did Wes. So their horror movies, they're not as valuable. Why do you think this community is so huge? We're a bunch of miscreants who feel that we're never heard. We feel outcast. That's what the horror community is. Even though I've never felt like I've been a typical horror person, I understand the horror person's mind. I've been to enough of these events, and I've been in enough horror movies, and I've seen it. I've seen what the horror fan is made of, and they don't feel heard or respected. And that right there is the origin story of what this is, and that is the pillar of our community. So, thank you. Last one.
Thank you so much. It's so big, so heavy and lovely.
Tony Curtis. Yeah. Yeah. Look at Jay Thomas. I love that they say the 90s were wild. Can you imagine if that happened today? By the way, that's the perfect way to do a bit, use a platform. I don't know if that was a bit. It could have been a bit. I don't know if it was a bit. But brilliant. But dude, Al Franken, like 10 years or 20 years later, got fucking canned for that shit. And John just went, boop. I mean, she's known for that. You're not allowed to do that. No rights should men ever do that. But she was so cool about it. I don't know if it was a bit or not, but it's funny, and everyone talked about it. And then Big and Heavy, the joke, and then the fact that she just got him back, it was perfect. To me, hilarious, good, clean fun. I'm more amazing watching this generation react to that. I just love the fact that she did that to John, because John won in that scenario. You know, I don't think she won by getting cupped, but she's such a good sport about it. It's great. It's funny. Guys, this is all good. We're healing. Come on. Like, subscribe. Let's go. I'm really getting into having guests as much as I love my rants, because I'm getting some good guests that are really interesting, and I think that you guys like them. This is my number one thing I love to do. I do this. Watch Funny You Should Ask at 12 o'clock at night on CBS. Listen to me on Jeff Lewis. I'm probably once a week on Sirius XM. I got some cons coming up. Go to my calendar. I'll be in Detroit, and then I'm going to be in Columbus. And then I got some stand-up dates. Much love. Peace. Anyone's talking. They're blockers. That's not why I came to Hollywood. Fucking backwards. Bullshit.
I hate to break it to you.